having a craving. I'm not feeling well. I don't feel like cooking, but this is what I'm gonna do. Shout out to past Courtney, because I looked in one of my little hidey hole places and she hooked me up. Excuse you. You can't talk to these people. You don't speak English. Calm it down. So annoying. So anywho, you want to get your cake pan and you want to Paula Deen it up, meaning you want to butter it. But life hack, you also want to add flour. What, Courtney, flour? Yes, Courtney, flour. I guarantee you, butter and flour on the bottom, nothing will stick. I guarantee you. You can't just do one or the other. Butter and flour on the bottom, nothing good will stick. Okay? Okay. Now you want to get your bowl. I usually use one with a spout. And you want to pour in your dry ingredients. Again, this is pre-made cake package, so all the dry ingredients are already in there. But you know, if you have like your baking soda, your baking powder, if you're like doing bread or something, your nutritional yeast, your flour, your sugar, all that good stuff, you know, that goes in first. Okay, I'm going to try hands-free with this next part because I definitely cannot crack eggs with one hand. You want to put your dry stuff aside and then start your wet stuff. I've seen people add their wet stuff, and I usually, just so you're not going back to the trash can, just put that in. Okay, you don't want to clog that. Open that up some and put that in there until you're ready to go. Anyways, I've seen people add like their stuff directly to their flour, and that's not safe. One time I opened up an egg. We were rushing. I want to say it was my mom and I. We had to go to like some dinner or something. We had to bring dessert. I opened up the egg in the dry ingredients and it was bloody. It was gross. So you always want to add your wet ingredients into its own little container to check on it first. And also since the measuring cup, I can just add the wet stuff if I need to that way. The water goes in where I need it to go. I'll come back over here. And this isn't the right oil. Alright, well, we're just gonna have to make do. It's not the oil I wanted. This is the extra fancy oil. But it's just gonna be an extra fancy cake now, I guess. Some substitutes, people sometimes ask, well, what do you substitute if you don't have oil here in your diet? You can use yogurt. That's mainly a big substitute if you're not into like the oils and the like butters and stuff like that. I'm looking for, there it is. I don't like to use a whisk because I feel like it leaves too many clumps, so I always mix with a fork. It's so annoying. So I have my hand again. I just like to funnel this out, like just make a little hole in the middle. Usually it helps. Oh, he's aggressively chewing his bone now. He's mad at me. Anywho's, this helps when it comes to mixing everything. And you just pour that right in the middle. Try not to make a mess. Boom, 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 boom. Turn it. And that's another life hack. So if something is dripping and you're trying to like get it to stop dripping, you just turn it and pull back. Boom. And then you mix. Again, lots of people use whisks. I prefer not to do that because I feel like it leaves too many clumps. At this time, as you're mixing, you can also go to your oven and set that. It'll preheat. Some people just throw it in. I used to be one of those people like, oh, it'll just cook while it's heating up. Don't do that because your cake can cook unevenly and come out kind of unbalanced or not have risen the way you want it to. So definitely wait for it to preheat to the temperature it's supposed to be at. Okay, so now we have our mix. You can see, I think oh, sugar tits almost spilled that. Woohoo! Get that up there. Anywho's, it still has some clumps. I prefer the fork to the whisk because it has prongs. I can stab it, I can see it, and I can skirt the bottom. And basically you're just gonna move it like a whisk until it's smooth and creamy. I think you can see that. Smooth and creamy, and you get most of your lumps out. You don't want to over mix it because that can mess with your cake when it's starting to rise. You can make it a little flatter than it needs to be. You're about to get the muzzle. Do it again. Intermission. if you watch any of my Coco Courtney's ever, you know. Nutmeg is one of my favorite things to add to anything. It'll set it off. So you add in your few shakes of nutmeg. And then yellow cakes are kind of boring to me. So you also add in your chocolate chips. And then you mix those in. And make sure you're scraping from the bottom, but not over mixing. So yeah, now we're ready to pour. Okay, so now I just kind of try to go back and forth like so when I'm pouring. It doesn't matter because it's all gonna come out anyway. And then whatever the fork can't get out, because I've seen people do this and I'm like, what? They'll get out what they can with the whisk or whatever and then keep moving. I'm like, no, that's what the spatula is for. So you grab your spatula and boom, you see all that? Mix. And basically just grab your spatula and it'll get any leftover residue you have because it's flexible like that. And the spatula wants you to win. The spatula wants to see the cake in all its glory. So yeah, just make sure you get everything out. You pay for it, get everything out that you can. Be careful with the... If you have kids that you don't care about, they can, you know, lick the extra stuff off, salmonella and all. We weren't really allowed to lick stuff off as kids, but yeah. Anywho's, sometimes we were, sometimes we weren't, I don't know. Anywho's, and I just shake back and forth, basically just trying to make sure that it's like coming out even. And you can also see kind of where the chocolate chips will be. I feel like that's enough because they're not all on the surface, but maybe a little bit more can be added. I think I'll just sprinkle some. Make sure your hands are clean. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right. The oven's still heating up, so you should use this time to clean up. Clean up as you go. You won't have to do a lot of cleaning up while your stuff is getting ready. I don't know if I can show this, but basically I'll just add little squirts of everything until I'm ready to wash it, which I will do while it's cooking. It's not that hard. Also, if you rinse it before it, you probably can't hear me. If you rinse it before it gets like hard and sticky, that also makes cleanup way easier. I'm also using the stovetop right now, and I would suggest that you just, anything that you have that you can move to an eye a little further back, you just do that, because while you're like cooking and going back and forth, you don't want to like knock something off or hit a handle. Yeah. So another thing I wanted to do, I wanted cream cheese frosting, but I only have chocolate frosting, which is perfect. I'm just gonna open that, and I literally have cream cheese here. I'm just gonna cut some of that off and add it in there, and it'll make like a chocolate cream cheese. It smells so good. So I'm just going to get a little bit off the edge. Actually, I'm not gonna add it in there. I'm gonna look it up. Oven's ready. So I went and got an actual mixing bowl. I'm gonna put the cream cheese in the mixing bowl first, and then hot diggity, let go, and then add in some of the chocolate frosting. I don't mind double dipping because it's all going to go together. Usually I'll use something different, but if it's all going back in here, it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to take all of it out, or as much as I can, because it's all going to mix with the cream cheese to make a chocolate cream cheese frosting. Okay, that was silly though, because I need to get back in the cream cheese, so now I need to get a different utensil. Ooh, look at my butt. Okay. Okay. Anywho, I'm not not going to add a whole lot because I don't want it to be cream cheesy, but I do want it to have remnants. Okay, and now you're just going to play the mashing game. So just mashing and mixing it all together. I use the back of a spoon to do this. It'll start swirling together. It should make the chocolate frosting a lot of hue. It might be easier for you if you take it off the counter, like so. Easier for me. And literally just the back of the spoon, just kind of mashing it all together. I mean, if you have a masher, you know, used for these kind of things, feel free to use that. And cream cheese is really smooth, so it'll blend in. It's not like it'll be like block hard. Like you can see, it's already starting to smooth together. But this frosting was in the refrigerator, so it's tough. It's a little tough. I'm gonna get there. You could heat it up. I don't really want to do that. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna heat it up just 10 seconds. Okay, that helped. It's way easier to mix now. Like super easy to mix now. I still see the cream cheese kind of separated. So again, you're gonna get, it's like whipped. They also have like whipped versions of frosting and icing and stuff like that. I don't prefer those because they cost more and you get less ounces. It's kind of crazy. I don't think people notice that, but whatever. Anywho, just use the back of your spoon until you don't see white clumps anymore, aka cream cheese. And I'll pause that because we heard the oven go beep beep. So you want to take the cake. Ooh, that thing is too low. Your rack cannot be all the way at the bottom. It has to be at least at the second prong, I would say. At least the second prong. You put it in dead center. And close it up. So now the cream cheese will go back into the container like so until we're ready to frost / ice. I'm still seeing some clumps, just a little odd, but I know what it is. You know what it is. I'm not gonna panic. Then clearly, you know, when you add in stuff, it's going to be more, so make sure it's not too much to the point where you can't close the lid. I think if I spatula this, it'll be too much to close the lid, so I'm going to leave this here, leave the bowl out. The bowl I'll take from that first, and then when I need extra, I'll come back to the frosting. And I'm just going to cover that. Ah! It's getting messy, you guys. Okay. Also remember to set your timer. Alexa, set timer for 30 minutes. The first timer just went off, so we're going to peek in the oven. And you don't want to open it up because that will make the temperature go down, so you can turn the light on. Whoa, this is really hot. Okay, you see that's almost at the top. The sides are a little lower than what I'd like, but and excuse the dirty screen. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't cleaned the oven in a while. But you can see how much it has risen. That's a beautifully risen cake. I kind of want to open it because I can see, I can kind of see it's browning, but also if you open it, that increases the temperature, uneven cooking, blah, blah, blah. I think I'll leave it in there for maybe like another minute or two. It looks beautiful. Okay, it's been enough. Okay. Oh, this smells good. Oh my goodness. Alexa, stop. So that's my extra timer going off. You can grab a knife to check it. Basically, you just pop it in, and if something's stuck to the knife, that means it's not done. Boom, clean break. I know some people that say, oh, you can just leave it in the oven, you know, while it cools down. Don't do that because it's going to continue cooking, and then the cake's not going to come out the way you want it to come out because it'll still be cooking. So check it out. That looks good, like for real. That looks really good. Don't forget to turn your oven off. Y'all, I'm excited about this. This might be the best one I've made yet. It looks so good. You're legit just gonna let that cool down until you're ready to frost it. The package says 10 to 15 minutes, but cakes usually take longer to cool down than that. You want it to be cool because when you add the frosting, if it's not cool, the frosting's just gonna all over the place. It's not cute. So yeah, let it cool down. If you still have some cleaning to do, some recycling guys to do, you can go do that. And that's what I'm gonna do. Okay guys, so I literally went and cleaned my whole body, hence the outfit change. So you can just put your hand over the cake to see if it's still hot or warm. You can also touch the pan if you so choose. Pan is still very, very hot. Cake feels like it's cooled down. What you can do next, you can get, remember we have some frosting that we weren't going to put on just in the container just yet. You can get some of that. You can pour it in the corner. And you can see if it starts to get melty after a while. So just let that sit down for like a minute or two. If it's melty, the cake is too hot to frost. If it sticks, you can do it. I thought the video was about to cut off, that's why I started talking fast. Basically, if it's too melty, the cake's not ready. If it stays where you put it and doesn't start running, then you're good to go and frost. Remember, those are the cream cheese pieces. No worries. Okay, so it looks like it's a little runny. It's staying in place, but it's a little runny. Just to be honest, I had to try it without the frosting. And mind you, these are like 4 different pieces I tried. They were so good. You know a cake is good when you can eat it without the frosting. And it looks like a big old chunk. It's not a big old chunk. It's like a third of the roll. Anywho's, I'm gonna let this cool down a little bit more and then I'll frost it. Okay. So now the cake is cooled and it's time to frost. So then you can just pour it and kind of like side to side, like you did the batter. Making sure you have enough to go out. And then you just spread. And don't be shy about it. And then make sure you're covering all places of the cake. That's really smooth. Except for the cream cheese. I can see some of the cream cheese crumbles. That's what we're gonna call it. We're gonna call it chocolate cream cheese crumbles frosting. That'll fix that. Nice PR move. And you're just gonna keep spreading it out until all of the cake is covered, which isn't taking very long, so should be done soon. Okay, so then after everything is on there, you can decide what kind of design you want to do. I like to do waves because it's a pretty simple design to do. And it looks kind of like trash right now, but once the frosting gets a little more solid, it'll look really, really pretty. It'll look like ocean waves. So I do the big ones and then I go in between. So then it looks a little more consistent. So you do like your 1/2 inch waves and then you go back over and you go in between. And then if you have some areas where the frosting is kind of like lacking, you can go back over as well. So that's the wavy cake. You can dip back in there. Like I saw a little spot there. You can go back over that. Yay! There's our cake. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. It's not really for Instagram. I have a DIY channel on YouTube I've been working on. So it's like I like to record on here, usually with filters and funny stuff, but this is just a let me record what I'm doing today type of thing. So if you ever see like all those little white storylines, that's usually what it's for. It's for YouTube. So thanks for watching.